Hey guys, today we are sitting down with Jesse Rollins again. Thanks for sitting down with us, Jesse.
Sure.
Today we're going to be talking about the commercial loan process. If you're a business and you need to go get a loan, what is that going to look like? Jesse here is an expert with commercial lending, so best person to sit down with, I think.
I hope.
Yeah, I think so. So let's just start off with why would a business need a loan?
There's a couple of different reasons why a business might need a loan. They might need to expand their business. They might be growing and they might have outgrown the space that they're in. They might need to buy more equipment for their business because they're so busy. They might need to buy inventory so they can sell to their customers. So those are just kind of a few reasons why a business might come in and seek a loan.
So what kind of loans would be available to a business if they come in to talk to you?
So the three primary types of loans are going to be a commercial real estate loan, an equipment loan, and then also a commercial line of credit.
So if I'm coming in to get a loan for the first time as a commercial customer, what's that process going to be like?
So the process is generally you're going to call ahead of time and make an appointment with a commercial loan officer. Typically at that point, the loan officer will be able to tell you a little bit about what they might need to make a credit decision. Once you kind of go in and talk to the banker, you need to be ready to share a couple of different things. You need to be ready to share why you need the money. So you have to have a clear reason why you're borrowing. And most of the time that reason needs to be for the expansion or the growth of your business. Secondly, you need to be able to share information with the banker. So you need to be able to share financials with the banker. During that initial phone call, typically that banker will let the borrower know, here's what I'm going to need to look at to make a credit decision.
Is there any benefit to going to a smaller local bank than going to a bigger bank when you're just starting out?
Yeah, there's a huge benefit because most of the time the person that you're dealing with at a small bank is going to be the person you deal with the entire process. So they're going to also collect your information, they're going to underwrite the deal, and they're going to close your loan. Typically, if you go to a larger out-of-town bank, you're going to be dealing with more of a salesperson up front. Then you're going to be dealing with an underwriter somewhere else, maybe in Texas or California. And then you might even deal with a separate closing company to actually close the loan. So there's a lot more people involved. At a small bank, it's one person through the whole process, and that's what makes it nice.
As someone who I've never owned my own business, I didn't realize at a bigger bank you're dealing with that many different kind of groups of people at a bigger bank.
And it kind of gets difficult because obviously things can get lost in translation as they go from one party to the next. And maybe a deal that could have been done doesn't get done because of miscommunication.
Right. And I see that a lot here at North Valley. A lot of times the commercial lenders, such as yourself, if you guys need to talk to the processing team or the servicing team, you can just come down here and talk to them or pick up the phone and talk to them.
Yeah,
I would think that'd be a big disadvantage at a big bank.
Yeah, here we make a quick phone call or we actually go talk to the person at their desk or their office, which makes it nice.
Right. Yeah. So if someone's coming in to get a loan, is there a certain time frame that it normally takes to get each of the types of loans?
Mm-hmm. It kind of depends. Obviously, a real estate loan is going to take longer than an equipment loan. But for a commercial loan in general, a borrower needs to plan on 30 to 60 days, depending on the complexity of the business. A lot of that depends on how ready the borrower is when they come in to see the banker. So if they've got everything prepared, everything that I'm looking for to make a credit decision, that process is going to go much faster than if I have to ask them for every piece of information that I need. Right. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's why I would recommend that anyone looking for a business loan call ahead, talk to the banker on the phone, and ask them what they would be looking for when they're looking to make a credit decision.
Right.
Yep.
What's your best advice for someone starting out to get their first loan?
So for a business doing their first loan, it can be difficult because there's no history. So projections are a big thing for a new business. We want to see projections of not only your income, but also your expenses. And we want to know that you've thought this process out. We don't want just a guess on paper. We want you to really have thought through the process. A good way to do that is to start with a business plan. A business plan is going to include what your business is, what you want to do with your business, where you want to go with your business. And then also it's going to give us some projections on what you think you can do as a business owner, what kind of income you can generate from this business. So those are the big things that a new business owner needs to be prepared with.
Right. Is there any benefit to researching your lender before going in to speak to them?
Yeah, I think every bank has websites in today's world, so a lot of information can be obtained on the website. You can see kind of what the bank specializes in. Some banks maybe do agricultural lending, and some banks don't do ag lending. Some banks specialize in equipment lending, and others specialize in real estate loans. So you can get a lot of information from the website of the bank.
So let's say I forgot to call and talk to somebody before I'm coming in to talk to you about a loan.
Right.
Are there certain documents that I should bring with me before I come in and talk to you?
Yeah, there's kind of the essentials that every banker is going to need. Number one, the business is going to need a tax ID number or an employee identification number. So that number is specific to that business. It's kind of like a person's social security number. Secondly, the business is going to have an operating agreement. What that does is it tells me who's allowed to sign for that business. So if it's a multi-member LLC, it might tell me that one owner's 40% and the other owner's 60%, and we need both signatures for anything to happen on that. So the operating agreement really tells the banker who's allowed to conduct business on behalf of that business. Okay. Thirdly, we're going to need tax returns. So if you've been in operation for a couple of years or more, we need 2 years of tax returns. If you're a new business, we're going to need a business plan, and we're going to typically need 2 years of projections.
If I'm starting out and I maybe don't have some of those things or don't know that I need, especially like a business plan for a new business, who can help somebody with that? Can their banker help them with the business plan?
Sure. So, as a banker, I can help a customer create a business plan somewhat, but there are places out there that are dedicated to helping a business start a business plan. Locally in Muskingum County, we have the Muskingum County Business Incubator. People can go there and get help with starting that process, so they're a little more prepared when they come in to talk to a banker.
Thanks for watching today, everybody. Thanks, Jesse, for sitting down with us, and we'll see you guys next week on NBTV.